Good morning, Zoe Beck.
Good morning.
From ZBD Design, or is it ZBD? What's
ZBD.
ZBD.
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome to the ARTbopSHOW, and thank you very much for getting over the excitement and lack of sleep associated with Fashion Week. Are you exhausted?
I was very tired when I came back here.
Have you had some recovery time?
Yes, I have.
It did look very full on, didn't it?
Yeah, it was amazing though.
So tell me about it. Can you describe your impressions?
As soon as I arrived, I was like, whoa, this is going to be awesome. And as soon as I walked in the room, I was like, whoa. And there was all these makeup and hair people walking around, and it was just amazing. It was the best experience ever.
What was the best moment?
Probably when I was wearing my garment and they're like, when it was time for me to walk down the runway, and they're like, go. And I was like, ah. And I was like, walk down the runway, everyone was taking photos, and it was the best.
Right, and that was the Walk the Line show, was it?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So that was a group show?
Yeah.
Who else was in the group with you?
It was run by the YMCA show, and they had like different sections, and so I had models in each of the sections.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I tried to look on the website, but I don't know my way around Fashion Week so well, so I was looking for Walk the Line and couldn't locate anything. So tell me how it felt to see see your clothes out there and amongst all the glitter and
like,
gleam.
so many people were taking photos of my stuff, and the people were coming back to me and going, your clothes are so amazing. I was like, oh, it just felt so amazing. People liking my stuff, yeah.
And what was the biggest surprise of Fashion Week?
When I was, after the show, when we all came backstage, one of the boys who was helping backstage came up to me and said, oh, the judges have given you a special award. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, because they were just so impressed with your creativity and your design that they wanted to give you a special prize.
So what was the prize?
It was like a booklet of all these fashion designs from like all these amazing designers, and a Revlon pack that Revlon had sponsored Fashion Week with.
Yeah.
So it was really special. And
what was in the booklet? The fashion designers, give me some names.
They had like designers from New Zealand and overseas, and they just had like photos and stuff. They didn't have the actual designs, but it was just like photos.
So it was like a portfolio.
Yeah.
And ideas.
And it was about like this big.
Oh,
yeah. Really good quality book.
Yeah. You'll go back to that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Yeah. How interesting. What a nice thing for them to do.
Yeah, it was really nice of them.
Yeah. Were you actually the youngest designer there? There must have been younger models, but
yeah,
in fact, I saw some. But
I think there was a couple of people the same age as me, okay. But I was, for Eco Fashion Week, I was the youngest.
Right. Okay. And the biggest challenge you had to cope with in Fashion Week?
Probably the biggest issue was probably getting all my stuff finished by Fashion Week. A couple of nights before, I was putting in zips and finishing, like hemming pants and stuff, and I was still busy. And I actually took some of my like garments to school to do buttonholes because I didn't know how to do buttonholes on my machine. And it was like 2 days before I was leaving for Fashion Week, and my teacher was like, "What are you doing?" So I was like, "I'm just doing some buttonholes," and she's like, "Isn't Fashion Week like tomorrow?" And I was like, yep. So that was probably.
So yeah. you in effect manufacture your models, your garments, as well as design them. You don't have the luxury of asking someone else to take the drawing and do it.
Oh no, I do all like the designing, and I make them as well.
Do they change as you make them?
Some. They're kind of all the same.
You stick to the vision?
Yeah.
Are you quite a good sewer?
No. I'm quite a terrible sewer, actually. Like, my lines are like... yeah, my seams don't go very straight.
Because you set yourself some challenges, don't you, with your combination of materials?
Yeah.
And of course the jersey pants, which I want to talk about later on. But yes, the challenge of getting your work done on time must be huge. Let me tell you that every single fashion designer that I've ever taken an interest in always works right up to the deadline.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's a famous story about Coco Chanel sitting on some model as she was actually leaving to go and find a coffee or something and saying, "That suit does not fit you, come here," and slicing it open. And it was actually not in the show at all. It was the model's own suit. That's how panic can take you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, but you did get it finished.
Yeah, I did.
And you were pleased and proud,
yes.
and you got the prize.
Yes.
So now that you're through all that, what's changed for you?
I'm not so busy anymore.
What is that? Are you listening to more music?
Yeah.
Because the music's really important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And not so busy, what does that mean for you?
I'm kind of more gearing up to next year's fashion collection and thinking about ideas of what I can do for that, and I've kind of planned out what I've decided to do, so it'll be quite cool. Yeah.
Did you get much inspiration from Fashion Week?
I did, yeah, because I was looking at all like designers' collections and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's cool, I can incorporate that and somehow, and looking at other girls' designs that they had made and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's interesting the way that they've done that and stuff, so it was quite, yeah, it was good.
Which was the show you liked the best?
Probably the Resine Colour show, which had two designs of all like the designers' collections, and they had like two designs from each of them, and they showed them, and it was really cool to see like the different variations of everything from the whole of Fashion Week.
There was a lot of black.
Yeah, lots of black and like plain colours.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I thought the this is from the website. The overall impression was one of quite a lot of patchiness, variation.
Yeah.
You know, there were some garments that just didn't enthrall.
Yeah.
At all.
Some of them were quite just like a black dress. I was like,
just ordinary. Yeah.
Okay.
Where's the thrill? But maybe that's the difference between catwalk stuff and actually looking intently at a particular garment. Maybe, for all we know, it was most exquisitely cut and finished, and but it did look kind of ordinary on the.
It was kind of almost like wintry colours as well.
That's true.
Just
You
like
didn't. It was such a joy, wasn't it, to see the odd floaty, and there were quite a lot of floaties coming in. But you thought, oh yeah, spring is coming. That's great. Yeah. So you're already cooking the next collection.
I've started.
Yeah. Without giving anything too much away, what's the starting point for this? For you?
Well, I made one design for a competition this year, and I was like, this is what I want to do next year, and that's kind of been like the drawing board, like the starting off point. It's completely different to what I've done this year, so it's going to be a whole like big turnaround, and everyone's going to go, whoa, she can do like one thing to the other, so it's going to be good.
Okay. And you've brought some things to show us.
Yes,
which you can show us now because you've been on the catwalk and all the rest of it. And some of them are quite familiar to us from those of us who follow ZBD and the Facebook page and all the rest of it. So the one that you've got on top there, which is familiar and is made from another existing garment.
Yes.
So where did the idea for that come from? Tell us about it.
Well, I started off like doing like just buying patterns and fabric and stuff, and I was like, this is kind of almost like boring because like you just go to the fabric shop and there's only like a certain amount that you can like get, like you can't like go, because I only stock a certain amount of stuff, and it's like what they want you to like
actually
style.
Generally the leftovers from the pret-a-porter runs from major manufacturers, isn't it?
Yeah, like they only have like a certain amount of stuff, and you can't go like, oh, I want to make something completely different. And so by doing refashions and stuff, then you can use anything, and you can have different stuff from different eras and stuff, because I get sponsors giving me stuff to create refashions from, and I can just do like anything, and that's how they look. This is made from a raincoat and different Indian kurtas, and like you couldn't, like with this green stuff on the front, like you couldn't buy that on fabric from like Spotlight or something. Like you couldn't buy it.
And you're not going to sit around and do that level of embroidery yourself.
And it's just like amazing what you can have from Refashions and just create something, because like there's one garment in here, if I can get it. This one here, like you wouldn't be able to buy that from a shop. And yeah, it's just amazing what you can do with Refashions, because like you couldn't buy something like that.
That central bodice piece, did you augment it, or the red is the red overlaid with the blue by you, or was that the piece that's as you found it?
This red was an Indian kurta, and then the blue satin was an 80s ball dress, and it was terribly ugly, and I wanted to change it.
It needed to be. Yeah, I'm interested in the blue medallions. Did you make those and put them on top of the red kurta?
No, they were already
there.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So it like matched perfectly. I was like, it goes together so well. Yeah.
Yes. I'd like to see your stash. You have a huge stash.
Yes.
Right.
I've taken up the study with sewing machines and clothes.
Yep. It's lovely.
Yeah.
So, how do you define fashion for yourself? What's its personal meaning for you?
Probably like showing yourself as a person. Like if you couldn't like explain to someone how you felt about something or something, you can just show it through how you're dressing. Like just like, I'm feeling happy today, and you've got like a bright something on or whatever. And it's just like you can show yourself in like how you like who you are, but not just like explaining to someone, I'm blah 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 blah, but just by how you're wearing it. And it's good.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because sometimes people are defined by the designers they choose.
Yeah.
She's an Yves Saint Laurent person. She's a Molyneux person.
Yeah.
Do those names mean anything to you? Do you study the history of fashion at all?
I do a little bit, but I mostly kind of just do like my own thing and just like completely different to what everybody else is doing. Like everyone now is kind of, as like for Fashion Week, for example, everyone was kind of doing dull colours, whereas mine's all completely different.
And very refreshing.
Yeah.
Lovely. Stand out.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like standing out.
Yes, I see that. And the idea of ugly ball dresses and pre-loved and pre-embroidered fabrics. How did the theme of using second-hand fabrics come to you?
It was kind of more like to do with like helping the environment and stuff, because when you buy like a roll of fabric and then you make something, you're going to have leftovers and you've got like nothing to do with them, so you're like, just throw them out. But if you're using pre-loved clothing, you can do anything, and you've always got like things that you can reuse and add onto things, and you don't have to follow the current trends by, I can only use like dark colours because that's only what Spotlight has stocked and I can't do anything. But by going to like an op shop or something, then there's literally everything, and you're just like, I'm going to use that, and then ta-da.
So working as you are at the retail end, where you can't go out to a loom, a weaving factory and say, I want fabric that looks like this, which is what Issey Miyake can do, for instance. So you're really starting from the position of the designer, being in effect a fashion victim yourself, because your choices are already being determined for you by some faceless manufacturer who's got ends of rolls that some buyer is going to stock in their fabric.
Yeah.
Right. So you were looking outside that square.
Yeah.
And that's what got you started.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And do you in fact use elements in unexpected ways? I mean, assuming that ball dress had a collar, would you always use it as a collar, or would it turn into, I don't know, a pocket flap or
probably something completely different.
Yeah.
Like I've made the jersey pants, like they're jerseys.
Let's talk about them.
And now they're pants.
Yes. And I want to see how that works, because of course every little kid, I remember on the Mount Beach running along and pulling my jersey, my pullover over my legs because they were cold and sandy and things. And of course you had the horrid feeling of the neck hole right in the wrong place. So how do you resolve all that? This is a real jersey?
Yes.
Right.
Well, how I came with the idea, me and Mum went op shopping and we were kind of mucking around, being a little bit stupid. And I was like, I could put these on my legs. And I put them on my legs and I was like walking around being a little bit stupid. And then Mum goes, you could actually make something of that. And I was like, that's a really good idea. And so that's how...
Because that is recognisably still a jersey. You could, in fact, unpick the crotch seam, put a new collar or binding on it, and turn it upside down again. Yeah.
This one is actually like a piece together.
Yes.
And it's created from like a hoodie with like a hood, and the hood's been added onto the other top. The zip is still there, the pockets are still there. I've cut the sleeves off and put them on this top, so it's obviously still the same. And then just sewing up the neckline together and it's pants.
I noticed, I think, on the runway, aside from your pants, one pair of low crotch pants. Everyone else had their trouser seam, let's say, in close proximity to their person.
Yeah.
Which is more comfortable, do you think?
Definitely these.
Even though you've got the feeling that your knees can't, go where knees might go. It's all right.
Because like jerseys are obviously really comfy, like they're big and baggy. It's the same feeling that you get, but just...
And that was a jersey once?
Yes, this was a jersey as well.
That was some jersey.
Yeah, I use like really ugly jerseys. I don't use like the nice ones. Take the ugly ones and make them cool.
That's very cool. Yeah, fabulous. So you've got the fashion idea tied to sustainability, because you're making these garments go another round. Another round. Is there a third round? Or are they precious now that you have put time and effort into them?
Yeah, they're probably precious, yeah.
You wouldn't want to see them turning into something else again?
No.
Right.
It's their last round.
All right. Now, when I did I've been interested in sustainable fashion for a very long time, because when you think about it, fashion is about trends, new things. You've turned that on its head, just like the jerseys, by making new things out of old things.
Yeah.
Do you think you will always go on doing that?
Definitely, yeah. Because I don't like following everyone else and doing the same thing, because you don't stand out. You don't get the same credit, like, you've made exactly the same thing as so-and-so. So.
But it also seems, in your conversation with Divart, it seems to be linked not only to that really strong sense of self and respect for the planet, but also to do with feminism.
Yeah.
And that's because?
Because, like, I feel sometimes that women aren't always as equal as everybody else. Like, the men and the women are created as, like, different. So by having garments like I've made, it makes women stand out. And it's not just like, hey, we're here too. Like, it's like, hello, like, we are here as well. We can be as equal.
Do you only design for women?
Yes. Yeah. I do have one garment that is both male and female. Yeah.
Anybody's?
Yeah, anyone's.
Okay. Right. And are you? Do you think you might extend to designing for men at some stage, or are you just absorbed in your existing demographic?
I'll probably start designing for men as well, because it creates a point of difference. Because on the catwalk you only see women modelling. but I don't know.
Yeah, all right. That's okay. That was a sort of, wide angle question, really. When you have leftover bits, do you keep them, or I mean, you have? Yeah, okay. So it is in effect a zero waste philosophy, as well.
Yeah.
Because
like one time, I had like an old top, like a long sleeve blouse. I used like half the sleeve to create wrist cuffs, and I used those, and then I used the top to make like the poo pant.
Yep.
And then I had like the collar left, and I made that into a necklace. So it was like the collar necklace, but it was just like the necklace.
Yep.
So I used the whole top, not just like a bit.
I saw that very prettily done on a sewing competition. There's on television. It's a UK competition, and they're home sewers, and they're challenged, and one of the challenges was to take a man's business shirt and make something completely different out of this shirt, and you got the dear little dress for a toddler, and you got what else did you? Yeah, anyway, a handbag maybe.
Yeah.
And one woman made a bustier out of the shirt, and the finishing touch was the collar separate. So you had all this beautiful shoulders and skin down to the bustier, and then this dear little collar around it, and it was just beautiful and so charming and sexy. It was cute. It was really nice. So I do understand the charm of putting things out of their context.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And the jersey pants just really started life as a joke.
Yeah.
And now they're kind of your signature piece.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have lots of demand for it?
Yeah, I've had lots of people come up to me like, "Oh, how much are they?" I'm like, they're not for sale. Yeah, it was really funny. After I had made my first pair of pants like this, Miley Cyrus was actually caught in Hawaii wearing the same like jersey pants that had like that kind of like pattern and stuff, and I was like, I started a trend.
Do you think she saw it?
She might have. I don't know.
I don't know. You'll never know. Gosh, how exciting. So how do you feel about clothes sharing?
Yeah.
Do you loan those out?
I suppose, yeah.
I ask because there's a movement called Local Wisdom that you might have heard about. Local Wisdom is an international sustainability community effort project thing. And in Wellington, it took wing in 2013 because the London Centre for Sustainable Fashion. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I have heard of it, yeah.
They were running some things, and they decided to do a community fashion event with repurposed clothing. So, and for many of them, it involved taking an inventory of what was in the wardrobe.
That's cool.
And saying, what might I do with this, and who else might like this, and what can we put together? So that was when I started really thinking seriously about the consumption aspects of the fashion industry.
Yeah.
And then it's really refreshing to come along and find somebody in Tauranga doing it for herself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is going to... do you regard this as a collection?
Yeah, I call it a collection.
Right. And you wouldn't think of selling it?
Probably not right now, no. But like people are saying like, oh, I would wear that.
It's going to come.
Yeah.
In terms of your fashion development, are you going to have to turn into a businesswoman at some stage?
Maybe. At the rate it's going, probably. But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of a hobby for me now. It's just
fairly consuming hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. What's the most challenging clothes modification effort you've done so far? I mean, the jersey pants were a cute accident, eh?
Yeah.
What was the thing that turned out to be a great idea but really hard to do?
Probably using the Indian curtains, because they have I've seen them in op shops and stuff. They have beautiful colours and they have all the stuff, but I didn't know how to use it. I was like, I really want to use that, but I have no idea how I'm going to use it.
And cutting into them is a moment, isn't it?
Yeah, the blue satin one, it was actually a whole dress, and it had the sleeves were like that as well, and it was a whole thing. I had to cut it up, and I was like, I don't want to do this, but it turned out amazing.
What are you going to do with the sleeves?
I've still got the sleeves. I'll probably do something with them.
Yeah. I mean, it must, in a collection sense, as a designer, you will end up, won't you, with an integrated, themed look, as bits of the previous garment crop up in other new garments.
Yeah.
Has that happened yet?
I have.
Obviously, with the jersey, the checkerboard, the teal, but that's a single outfit, isn't it?
Yeah. I've got it's kind of themed throughout the whole thing. I've got the signature things like the jersey pants, and I've got the Indian curtas. They have in each garment, and I have the wrist cuffs, and they have a few garments that have wrist cuffs and a few garments that have the jersey pants, and a few ones that have the short jersey pants. So it's kind of,
So when you're designing, do you start from an outline, from an overall silhouette shape, or is it more from the inside as the fabric speaks to you?
I kind of just get a garment, and I just lay it down. I'm like, what can I do with this? Or I buy a couple of things, or get given a couple of things, and how can I tie these together? Or I might have two colours that match, these two colours match, and I was like, I need to make something together.
Yeah. Okay. And do you think, in fact, what you might be doing is helping people who love your clothes? This sounds very deep, so you can disagree. You're entitled to just take this where you want to. In a way, in the 20th century, when I was a young woman, we looked to designers for inspiration, challenge, really pushing an envelope. I'm wondering if in the 21st century we're going to be looking to our designers to help us make sense of our world, because it's all we have.
Yeah. It's definitely changing. The ways of fashion's definitely changing. Some people are just following what everyone else is doing, and I'll just do what they're doing. But some people, like me, who are just we need to do something completely different. We don't just want to be the same as everybody else. Everyone needs to stand out and do their own separate things for the better, not just follow.
Yeah, but you still have to have a sense of fashion.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah. You do.
So what in the 21st century would you see as a predominant fashion trend right now? You've just been to Fashion Week. Give us the gin. How should we be dressing?
There's so many styles that everyone does. You've got the casual, the really the pop, the people who are just whoa, that's crazy. But everyone just has their own style. So dress the way that you want to, not just the way that other people dress. They don't follow.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Zoe. I did some research for this conversation, and I looked up sustainable fashion, and I got the 10 sustainable designers from New Zealand in a website, and Starfish, which is a firm I like. Look at Miranda Brown.
That's cool.
It's cool. But it's sort of out of fashion. This was a 2009 article, and I was struck. Sustainability. So just have a quick look. Tell me what you think. Do they look fashionable to you?
They're all kind of the same.
Yeah.
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 They're all very similar.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So there's...
Like you can see, like those are very much the same.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. They're not standing out.
But so, like, you think that the trends now, as you've expressed, like, throughout, are kind of becoming more individualized, like self-expressing?
Yeah.
Instead of,
yeah,
like, you know, just going with, like, whatever everyone else is doing. It's more kind of from, like, individualized?
Yeah, definitely.
So if you're going to be, in effect, curating that museum term, our look for us in the future, so that we can be self-expressive. Not everyone is going to be able to create for themselves because don't have the skills, don't have the eye, don't have the time, don't have the money, or have the money but none of the three further things. Where are you going to take yourself in order to assist us as a designer to be the people we really want to be, to look like the people we really want to be?
If you don't obviously have the money or the style or whatever, just do, like, literally you can do anything. Like, it can be like you can just wear plain black and then have, like, the shoes that you really, really love, and then your shoes can stand out amongst what you're wearing. Or it could be like, oh, this is my favourite top, and then everyone will know that it's your favourite top because you always wear it and it stands out. It doesn't have to be like a complete whole outfit. It can be like the simplest thing, like a necklace or something small. It doesn't have to be like a whole big thing, something that you want to do. And if, like, I'm a person who has like a whole outfit, like my whole outfit has to stand out and it can't just be like a one little thing. But if it's like one little thing for you, then that's what you want.
Yeah. This is not sounding like a mass production model. How do you feel about mass-produced clothes?
It's boring, to be honest, because, like, if you're just going to get the same thing coming through all the time, and it's just not original, it's not new. Whereas my stuff, it's only one of a kind. You're not going to get it again, so it's different.
At the moment, no one's going to get any of it because it's your collection.
Yeah.
So, you know, are you going to shift out from making, holding, exhibiting to releasing garments into the world? I mean, Miley Cyrus might take you some of the distance. But...
I have thought about it, but I might start.
It's obviously difficult, isn't it? Because your work is so unique and so bespoke, and highly focused on your sense of self.
Yeah.
You know, what if somebody came to you and said, Zoe, I want to commission you to do me a thing?
I would have to think about it, but I would love to get my stuff out there for people to be wearing it and, like, walk down, like, town or something and see someone wearing my stuff and be like, that's mine.
Mary Quant had exactly the same experience. It was very exciting for her as she moved from just making stuff that she liked herself to making stuff for other people to enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh. So you've got some big decisions to make.
Yeah.
As you go forward.
Yeah.
What's the plan? What happens next, Zoe?
I have started coming up with my idea for my 2016 collection.
Now, is that part of your study course, or is it, as you say, a hobby that's extrinsic to your...
It's just like the hobby
need
thing.
to attend school?
Yeah. And just entering as many competitions and getting my name out there and doing what I love to do, which is designing.
Yeah, you said something really interesting to Divart in the previous interview about how you weren't so very interested in the perfectionism of a fashion show. You just wanted to do the clothes.
Yeah.
Or did I get it wrong? Are you interested in perfection as well?
I do like the way that the clothes look. It's just, it doesn't really matter if they're, like, the seam is, like, not perfect. Like, everything doesn't have to be perfect. Like,
so long as the effect is there.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, I understand. And was it, zooming back into Fashion Week now, was it fun making some decisions about the presentational things like the lighting and the makeup, or did you take advice on that?
We didn't get a choice with lighting and stuff, but for New Zealand Eco Fashion Week, we did get a choice of what we wanted to do, and that was really amazing, coming up with like the hair idea of like, oh, this is gonna like make a whole different like look, like a ponytail can make make that whole outfit look different to if your hair is up or like down or whatever.
I saw some ponytails where the band was right at the bottom of the fall of hair, so you got a little tiny tail and quite a lot of hair gathered together. Yeah. Was that your idea?
It was kind of my idea, yeah, and I also like the hairdressers, like kind of
shared it around.
Yeah.
Yes. And eco fashion, did that extend to the products used for the models, for the makeup and hair and things? Did it get down to that level of detail?
Yeah, it was kind of pretty much like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So everything had to get the eco tick.
Yeah.
Right. I heard Dame Peter Stewart, the leader of Fashion Week, being interviewed last week on national radio. And she was saying that there is quite a movement within the New Zealand industry to have ethical clothing, which extends to the economics of its production, I suppose, no child labour.
Yeah.
We talk about the shoes in the bag, Zoe, from Eco.
Oh, yeah.
How you met them and how they sponsored those.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she was saying how hard it is.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, it says help us help the Amazon.
Yeah.
What's that?
At New Zealand Eco Fashion Week.
Hold up the box so that it comes into shot. Yeah.
There was like a shoe company there, and these are eco-friendly shoes. These are made in Peru. The fabric is eco-friendly, and I met the lady there, and she was so lovely.
Show us!
And for New Zealand Fashion Week, she sponsored me with a couple of pairs of shoes, and these are what the shoes look like.
They're gorgeous.
Yeah, I love them. They're so cool. I've been wearing them around, so they're a bit grubby. But
made to wear.
They're so amazing.
It'd be amazing with that jersey pant.
Yeah, and they're eco-friendly as well, so it's good for the environment, and they look amazing too, so it's a win-win situation.
Lovely, lovely, yeah. Well, I think this is a terrific place to, unless you have a large statement you want to give ARTbopSHOW about the future of ZBD and what we were looking for, and you want to tell us what we will be wearing next year. I think it's been a real pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for letting me come here.
Thank you very much for opening up all these exciting possibilities for us. It's just terrific. Thank you.
Thank you.